This is our 2018 unicorn. It's our third unicorn, actually. This one's worked out pretty well. Colors I have are white and yellow, orange, red, turquoise, purple, and black. Red, I thought I mentioned red. Okay, I'm going to start off with the larger brush. Get a scoop of white and a little bit of red. Find the sensor, just blend a little bit, not much, just a little bit, so that I can have a little bit of pink to work with, maybe a little bit whiter. And then I'm going to make the eye, and that's why I wanted to start right in the sensor and not make the eye too, or not make my my blending too much. Make sure I do it very little there. And I'm going to take a big circle up like that, kind of like that. That's a little small, but you get the idea. And then I'm going to take that circle a little bigger, like that, a little bigger. And actually start out here, like we do our horses, with another smaller circle like that. And then I'm going to slope a little smiley curve like that. And then I'm going to make a frowny curve over like that, okay? Frowny curve like that. And then right about in the middle of the eye, I'm going to curve down like this, okay? In the back of the head, I'm going to curve down like this and come up about a third of the way up the canvas and curve down like that. So about a third of the way up the canvas curves. That's a curve, that's a curve, that's a curve. I'll pick up some more paint out of here, give myself, hold my brush up and give myself a little U shape like that for the lip, make sure it's back from the nose. Start back here with my ear. I like to do a line that comes back like right out from the eye and then make a curve like a leaf, but make sure it's wide there. And then I'll paint that in, lots of white, a little bit of brown, red. Sorry, my voice is a little rough. Paint that through lightly, try to keep that eye as big as possible. Doesn't have to be super big, but we've got a little bit more of an anime type eye where the eye is has got a large pupil and two reflections instead of the normal one. I'm gonna this is a little dry, so it dries quicker. You normally use more paint than I'm using, but that's it. Okay, so looks good. And then I'm going to go right to my lavender. I'm going to wipe my brush off a little bit. And the reason I'm doing lavender hair is because it won't matter if it goes on the red some, if I've got my neck too thick or whatever. So I'm going to get some white and a little bit of purple, blend a little bit out here where I know I'm going to have my hair like that. And then I'll start with my brush pointing up and I'll curve out and up like a J or a hook like that. Curve it back, curve it up, curve it back, and then off. I could have more or fewer of those as I need, and then paint up against the pink, and maybe go over a little bit even like that with some little smiley curves like so, little smiley curves. It's okay if the pink blends in a little bit, that's fine. And then paint that in with my lavender. And then up in the top up here, I'm gonna start with a little curve that goes like this. Now this starts up pointing straight up above the eye and curves back to the ear like that. Not to the place where the ear starts, but into the ear. And I'll curve this back, and if I want to, I'll curve that over a little bit so it's like a little bang, and then curve out like this and back, and then one more if I like, looks good. The hair is probably the trickiest part. It's one of the things that's caused me to redo the unicorn so many times, getting that hair to look like it's sweeping and not awkward. And I got some pink mixed in mine because I'm doing it so fast, but it's okay because it's all part of the same basic color scheme. Okay, now once that's done, I'm going to take my brush and rinse it out and dry it, and then go to the small brush. And then I want to put my horn wherever it needs to go, somewhere off the forehead, which is here, and my hair is going to be in the way. Now my hair is going to be whatever it is on my own painting. Everybody's is going to be different. So I'm going to start with a line that goes as far as I can go to the lowest part of my hair, like right there. Instead of bringing it to here, I'll bring it to there. And then I'll come off from the top out this way and from the top out that way. And then paint it in. I don't care if it's a little wide at the bottom, that's fine. Now on this one, because of the way my hair was, the horn went to the top of that hair there. On this one, it went on the other side of that hair. It doesn't matter. It goes where it goes. I just want to make sure I have enough horn. And you may not have a lot of horn. You don't need a lot of horn, really. You just need enough horn to make the point that it's a unicorn, okay? Everybody's going to know. And then I'm going to take my big brush and go to my white and light blue, my turquoise, and paint all this light turquoise. And I want to paint it all around. I want to pause for a second because I don't need to show you all this, but remember, after we paint all the big area, then we'll blend a little bit out here, go up against, up against, up against, and brush that out. And when I come back, that'll be done. Okay, mine's very dry and honestly kind of light. I just did that because I didn't want to get a lot of paint on there, so I could do this quickly. Okay, I'm gonna rinse out that brush and go to my small pointy brush. And I'll start where I know things are driest, which is gonna be on the eye, which is where it's just white anyway. I'm gonna get some of the turquoise, and if I want to, I'll mix a little white with it, but I think it's okay like it is. I'm gonna make my eye go up this way. It's just my choice, and I'm gonna make a nice big eye because I wanna have enough room for a big pupil and a big couple of highlights. But again, it doesn't matter if I don't have enough room for it, it's okay. Then I'm going to rinse out my brush a little bit, dry it off, and I'm going to start with my purple because the purple is up against the pink largely, rather than up against the background. So I'll start with this plain purple, and I'm going to paint this right here, paint light curve there, and stop, and just keep on curving. I can curve more than I actually made my curves. Like on this one, I did a lot of them, kind of like that, just easy. Mine's blending a little bit, but you get the idea. And then up on the top up here, I'm gonna come out from my ear, and I'm gonna take this up, and at this point, I have to go into my background a little bit. I'll take this up like that, and then bring it back down, like so. They don't meet up, they meet at the ear. And then over here, this one comes up like this, and then back like that. And then this one goes up like this, and back like that. And they're separate, okay? And they follow whatever arc your own hair meets. And then I'll do the outside over here, which it goes out and up and then stop. We give it a little extra curl, and then curve that down, and then get a little bit more, and then curve that up, stop, get more paint, curve it down, and then off the side. And again, however many you've got is fine, okay? Again, mine's a little light looking because my I'm painting on kind of wet paint, but yours, much more time will have elapsed by the time you get to this point. Okay, then I'm going to go to my red paint. I'll get some red, and I will start where I know things are a little driest, which is if I get my red, and I'll paint my ear curve right there. There we go. And then my nose is up in here, so I'll just do a little line back like that. Make sure we don't get all mixed up in where the face is. And then I'm going to go ahead and just start painting the edge of the horse. I'm going to paint his throat, her throat, like that. And then I'm going to do let's go ahead and do the ear. Ear goes back like this, maybe starts a little bit lower than the hair, goes up like that, and stops. Get some more paint, bring it up from here, maybe start a little sooner than the hair, up like that, and stop. And then I'm going to find my mouth. And my mouth is going to be, again, imagine that, as we always do with the horses, imagine the nose coming around and becoming a smile and ending right about there, and then curving around like this and coming back. And as I need more paint, I'll get more paint, bring it back up to there. And then when I come around, I always like to give a nice horse jaw. So I'm going to curve around like this, but then loop it around a little bit like that. Keep it going and give your horse a nice jaw like that, or your unicorn a nice horse jaw like that. Looks a lot more natural. And then that's the end of the red. So I'm going to go ahead now, since I just did my red, and do my orange. It won't matter if I got a little red in the brush, which is why we wait. And also so that my yellow is driest. Now I want it to look like a spiral. So what we do is we do little curves like this, bump out like that. And it just goes wherever it shows, okay? Wherever it shows is where it goes, like that. And the rest of it goes behind the hair, and that's fine. Totally got the picture, totally got the message across. I've told the story of what's going on there. Okay, then I'm gonna do my black. My black eye is gonna be big in there, a little bit high maybe, not touching. I wanna leave a little bit of the blue around the top if I can, but just a nice big circle, but not too thick with paint, just very lightly painted. And then I'm gonna put a brow, which is going to be a black line that goes across kind of in the back like that. And then I'll give her a few little 1, 2, 3 little eyelashes. And then I'll rinse out my brush, and that's everything on the horsey part. So then I can do my stars. My stars are whites. Background should be dry by then. And all I'm gonna do is just like big X's like that interact with each other. So line, line, plus sign, X, plus sign, X. That's all, plus sign, X. And as many of those as you want. Plus sign X. If you just want to do a plus sign and one line, that's fine too, but the X looks good because it balances more. And then I'll do some over here, you know, as big or smaller as I like, but always go back and get more paint. The white is only so opaque, so it's not going to be completely solid. And the other little dots are, make sure the dots are not equidistant, that they're more sporadic, random, so that it looks like stars and not like snow. If it stays patterned and all the same size, it's going to look like snow. And then I'm going to put two little highlights on here. The black should be pretty dry by that point. And I'm just going to touch there, get more paint, touch there, and there we go. I've got it. I think that's everything. So good luck with it. That unicorn's gone really well for us, better than the past ones.